One of my absolute favourite bands in the entire world right now is Unprocessed. I'm obsessed with them. And of course, I've heard this song before, but this is just going to be an analysis and like a deep dive into the lyrics. So hope you enjoy it. Let's just get started. So much chunk. Get ready for this. I'm excited. Okay, let's unpick this first bit. I loved that bit where it was like wind and fire, like all of that. I'm sorry, you're going to get really bored of me saying this because I've said it in a few of my sleep token videos so far, but the juxtaposition again. But I feel like that is a bit of a running theme when it comes to mental health, because it's like sometimes it can feel like a bit of an inner battle, almost like cognitive dissonance, you know, like this and that battling against each other. He said in the lyrics, it's almost like a battle between two messiahs, grappling with the most powerful parts of ourselves, you know, that dark and the light. They are polarizing, aren't they? And in that way, they are very, very powerful forces against each other. Yeah, and what's interesting about some of these lyrics is that there is, I mean, the song is called Hell, but it's talking about the arrival of God's disciple, the end of the world's denial, messiahs. There is a lot of that kind of biblical referencing, and it could be just that in itself, but I'm almost wondering, is there something more to that? Like, for example, aligning with a sort of spiritual or righteous path, the end of the world's denial. So it's like, are we referencing like leaning into truth and enlightenment, and just wondering if it's a bit more sort of like existential in nature, or a bit more spiritual rather than being about just religion. And that's the beauty, isn't it, sometimes of music, because it can be interpreted in your own way. If you are religious, you might interpret that in a religious way. But if you're not religious or you're more spiritual, then you might see it as like just divinity. The chorus. So the chorus says, hell is a place right in my chest. It's burning in me. And all these lies I can't confess, they're showing slowly. Sometimes things get so intense deep within, it literally feels like it's burning in your chest. It literally feels like a physical pain. And sometimes it then, as much as we try and hide things and we try and sort of keep things under wraps, that can only go so far until it starts showing slowly. You know, it has to come out. And keeping it all bottled in and bottled up is not good for us, because it makes us physically feel like it's burning within us. It's a hell right here in your chest. It's so, like, the imagery is powerful. The feeling that it evokes is so powerful. It's relatable. You know, I just love it. Anyway, let's carry on and then we will unpick some more as always. God, I love this song so much. Okay. Now, in this next verse, I kneel before my Lord, the newborn King, the Antichrist has risen, even though I know I'll always be a sheep of God. And then it goes right into the chorus, hell is a place right in my chest. This to me is interesting because I almost feel like it's starting to see things as a little bit more ambiguous rather than it being two separate things. Do we know which one is the true Messiah? Do we feel like we're being misled? Which one is the right one? And that, in terms of mental health, when we thought before about the good and the bad, there's just this idea of what we think good is, and there's also an idea of what we think bad is. And bad is, the unhealthy coping mechanisms, the emotional dysregulation, the mental health difficulties that we face. But actually, what this sort of makes me realize is that if we try to understand the bad side and why it is the way it is, it can actually help complement the good side, and they can work together rather than being these polarizing sides that are in, conflict with each other. And I just love that so much, because that is so powerful when we realize that. So powerful. And that further is confirmed to me when we say, struggling to begin the story, tragedies that have been unfolding. But then we say, but they made me who I am and made me bury my past. So even if we might trudge our way through and it feels sticky and muddy and hard, it still helps when we try to lay the past to rest, almost like resolving trauma. Let's finish out the song, see if there's any more to unpick. Stunning! Wow. What a song. I have become my own gate to hell. Dude. This bit kind of comes after a bit of a climax in the song. So it kind of makes me think that it's a realization, and it suggests that it's like a personal responsibility. I realize now that I hold the key, and that's not like a blaming thing, by the way. That's an empowering thing. It's like, I have realized where my power lies, and rather than look outwardly and see myself as the victim of these two polarizing sides, I'm going to take the control of what I can take control of and realize what I can do, realize how I can sort of see things differently, take steps to work on this. Sometimes the pain that we're in can be self-inflicted at times. And again, I just want to stress that this isn't a blaming thing, because a lot of the time it's inadvertent, like we don't realize that we're doing it. And we do things based off how we feel or our experience and how things have gone in the past. All of this stuff. We can only do what we can do with the knowledge that we have. But this feels like a realization. And with that extra knowledge of that realization, it gives you more power to sort of deal with it and learn where your own personal responsibility for the things that are, that causing you to suffer is. Did that sentence make sense? Whatever. Yeah, I guess final thoughts would be that, again, sometimes when we rewrite our own story from a place of safety and settlement, that can be so powerful in terms of resolving trauma. And that can be the very thing that helps us move away from seeing it as these two polarizing, opposing, conflicting sides, and more like a dysfunctional harmony, let's say. They go together, it's dissonant, but it kind of works. Anyway, let me know what you thought of Hell by Unprocessed. I absolutely love that song. And if you have any other song suggestions for me, then leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them. I also forgot to mention earlier that you can now become a channel member, which is really exciting. You can get access to members only shorts, videos early, shout outs in my videos, all sorts of fun stuff. And that is a really easy way to support what I'm doing here. I really want to give back to the community. I have loads of big ideas for this channel, so that's a really easy way to support me if you enjoy my content and you want to do that. You can also support my channel in a free way by subscribing and hitting the bell button, and also giving me a little thumbs up because I appreciate every single one. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!